Usually, it can take years, if not decades, to develop and bring such weapons. But it can be seen that the situation now forces us to act faster. It rarely happens that a high-precision missile, especially from a very complex family of air-to-surface class, and just like that, immediately took off and fired. This is usually a long way with a lot of improvements and upgrades, and only over time, and very gradually, the products begin to lead to real work. Or, as the USA beautifully writes, included in the firing circuit. Yes, it can be seen that times are such that there is nowhere else to postpone. The newest X-69 rocket was first presented by the Alexander Yakovlevich Berezniak State Machine Building Design Bureau Raduga at the Army Forum in August 2022. Just a month after the premiere, it was adopted. In 2023, experts from Dubna near Moscow showed the export version of the X-69E for the first time at the Dubai Air Show. Then, for the first time, the relevant experts of the largest European countries and the United States spoke. And as it usually happens, we started with vociferous criticism of a project that we had never seen before. Western aviation experts assured their subscribers and readers that this was just another rereading of the old Soviet OVAD X-59. Although even externally it is clear how much one product has gone from another in development. One of the important differences between the missiles of this class is the modular design and the ability to equip any product for a suitable case with high explosive fragmentation, armor-piercing, and cluster warhead. Everything from range and altitude to low visibility characteristics has been fundamentally improved in new missiles. Even compared to the most recent modification of the Ovada X-59M2, which has already demonstrated good results. And involuntary respect is aroused by all those who, during the years of suffocating sanctions, were able to create and bring to mind, in fact, whatever one may say, is a new generation of aviation weapons. The X-69 was originally created specifically for the Russian Su-57 stealth aircraft and is now said to be regularly used from it. This 4-meter subsonic cruise missile with a speed of 0.8 Mach is capable of maneuvering at ultra-low altitudes for a long time and sneaking up on targets in unexpected roundabout ways, bypassing missile defense positional areas. The main factor of its protection from air defense is difficult flight routes and low visibility factors. Despite its relatively compact size and weight of 800 kilograms, it has a solid 300 kilograms warhead. Initially, it was believed that the rocket flies at a distance of slightly less than 300 kilometers. But the current painstaking observation of our equipment by a large group of professionals and amateurs has revealed that the Hashka easily overcomes 400 kilometers without losing accuracy. The new Hashka has already been recognized as one of the most promising new products of the current year. Will there be more? Judging by the recent high-profile combat debut, Western anti-aircraft missile systems do not detect it and physically cannot fend off such an attack. At first, they stubbornly did not want to admit this, but when the debut mass use turned out to be so effective, they are simply looking for an explanation of how such a projectile could have been created by a country that was subject to the most powerful sanctions in human history. Now that in 4 months Russia has shown Zircon and now X-69 in combat conditions, the endless story about the ever-ending rusty Russian missiles will become much more difficult to sell. But I think they will somehow get out. I will not even, as I usually do, give specific quotes, because this is all fortune-telling on coffee grounds. According to the degree of danger, the X-69 is now compared in the USA even with a Dagger, pointing out that even with such a speed difference, it is no less difficult to intercept a missile, and it costs almost 3 times cheaper than the X-47M2. The Su-57, without losing its stealth properties, can carry up to 4 such missiles. Now, all tactical aircraft of the VKS and frontline bomber aviation are actively integrated with it. Those who are planning combat operations in the North Atlantic Alliance are clearly more concerned than the Writing brothers. They understand perfectly well how fatally the threat level has increased, with which there is simply nothing to fight. There are no abstract analogs, but what already exists concretely and is at war. Over the past 6 to 7 years, Russia has shown several such advanced types of new generation weapons, including hypersonic. During this time, the West showed only constant failures in tests and beautiful pictures from the PowerPoint with sweet amounts of potential investments from the military budget. Well, I would also like to add about the super heavy FAB-3000 bombs, which allow our army to solve new tasks. Russia has resumed mass production of 3-ton high-explosive bombs FAB-3000, which were previously used against militant fortifications in Afghanistan. Less powerful ammunition of this family helped the Russian army to liberate some settlements. The modernization of the FABs, planning and correction modules has changed the balance of forces on the line of contact. So why did the front need even larger bombs, which are second only to nuclear tactical charges in power? Let's figure it out. Since February, mass production of 3-ton FAB-3000 bombs has been established in the Nizhny Novgorod region. The production of FAB-500 bombs has also increased many times, doubling the production of FAB-1500. FAB-250, which contains 140 kilograms of explosives, remains the youngest in the family. The increase in production became known during the recent visit of Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu to the Nizhny Novgorod region. At the enterprise itself, the name of which the Ministry of Defense did not specify, work is carried out around the clock. A 3-shift schedule has been set. Since 2002, the number of staff has grown by more than 1,100 people. In 2 years, more than 45,000 square meters of production space have been reconstructed, modernized, and put into operation. The volume of production has been expanded due to the deconservation of capacities, technical re-equipment, and modernization of equipment. Recall that FAB high-explosive bombs are Soviet aerial bombs, the main damaging effect of which is the action of a landmine, that is, an explosive wave. They have the most powerful and universal destructive effect among the main-purpose bombs. FAB-3000, about 1,400 kilograms of explosive. Its carrier is the Tu-22M3 long-range bomber, which can also carry the more powerful FAB-5000 bomb. But the FAB-9000 remains the largest. In terms of explosion power, it is second only to a nuclear bomb, but now it is more like a museum exhibit. For now, the durable body of the product allows it to penetrate into the ground or into obstacles such as inter-story ceilings of buildings and structures. FAB-3000 is dropped from a height of up to 16 kilometers. When falling, speeds of up to 1,200 kilometers per hour are achieved. The Russian army actively used FAB-3000 only in Afghanistan against militants. According to the weekly Zvezda, the FAB-3000 destroys a target in a circle with a diameter of about 35 meters. The enemy's manpower is concussed within a radius of 160 meters. According to some experts, the FAB-1500 aerial bomb with UMPC, that is, a Universal Planning and Correction Module, changed the balance of forces on the line of contact. Thanks to the module, the bomb can be dropped at a distance of 70 kilometers from the target. Therefore, the bomber remains inaccessible to the enemy's air defense forces. The enemy's defense in one of the key places where they have created a powerful fortified area in recent years has fallen under the onslaught of the offensive of the Russian armed forces, which took this settlement, including thanks to bombs FAB-500 and FAB-1500 from UMPK. The expert community also notes that high-explosive aerial bombs are primarily designed to destroy rear and communications facilities, military industrial and energy facilities, military equipment, and enemy manpower. The request for such powerful FABs means that we will be talking about the destruction of serious engineering structures. As experience has shown, more destructive bombs are needed for combat operations. The FAB-3000 can be used against well-concreted and buried targets. As a rule, these are strategic objects. The enemy has been preparing for this conflict for a long time. Powerful fortifications were built there. The most important objects were underground. These are control and communication centers, command posts. Even the usual frontline headquarters are trying to conquer it well. Recently, many high-precision weapons have appeared at the front, and the only salvation is a thick layer of concrete. After installing OMPC on aerial bombs, their accuracy and range increased radically. The Tu-22M3 carries 2 FAB-3000 freefall bombs as standard, but due to the UMPC, which increases the dimensions of the bomb, the aircraft will be able to take only 1 munition of this diameter. The Tu-22M3 can theoretically take 42 FAB-500 or 8 FAB-1500 on board. In other words, we have a unique weapon in front of us for a largely unique carrier, which means that the targets for this weapon will be selected accordingly, which are unique. That is, those that cannot be taken by bombs of a smaller caliber.